make him something one day. So, I
don't think he's ever going to get there.
I don't think so either. He's got too tiny of a head.
Just remember, they've been pushing Roman Reigns for 4 years now. So
yeah, but I feel like that's different.
At least
look at Roman Reigns
money.
And look at Roman
selling stuff.
And also, he's not messing up too. I mean, you have that incident where he kind of went off script. Obviously,
that's nothing.
I understand, but still,
you know what I was thinking? Okay, so Titus, he tripped. Imagine that happened to Roman Reigns.
Oh, man.
What do they do? Do they rewrite his character? Do they just try and erase it from history?
I fell because I'm too fast.
I fell because I felt the weight of the universe coming down on me.
There'd be something like that.
Yeah, it's because we all hate you.
I was running so fast I had to get back to my yard.
So I decided to dig under it. Fastest way to get there. So let's go to the next, the last two matches of SmackDown.
Yes.
Becky Lynch defeated Sonya Deville, and the best intro of all time.
Right. That was good.
That was incredible.
I give you my own applause.
Thank you.
That was good.
That was something else.
Her entrance.
Mandy Rose,
She's
the
beautiful.
goddess.
Woo! I still don't think she's as good as Alexa Bliss. If we're talking looks, I'll take Alexa over Mandy Rose.
It's a rough decision.
I feel like for character, yeah, because I feel like Mandy Rose is a word I can't say. She's a female dog. I feel like she's just too confident about herself.
And he said it twice.
Yeah,
you technically can, but I'm not gonna.
Twice. No, yeah, but mine was by accident. I'll say this: I follow them both on Instagram, and I just think Mandy Rose is very full of herself, even in real life. Though, she wears 100%. A lot of makeup. She's always taking pictures of herself in
God's
provocative
greatest
poses.
creation.
She is beautiful. So if I look like that, I take pictures like that as well. Yeah. Let's move to the non-title match in the main event. Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Jay Styles. So now Shinsuke Nakamura gets to choose the stipulation,
which is great. This match was great.
Hopefully, they do a new spin on the Iron Man and make it the Iron Crotch match.
Yes,
I think this is going to be interesting. I don't know what they're going to go with yet, but I do like that. Obviously, this match was great. The main event was great.
Goalpost match.
And again, I think but especially the one part I want to notice is about how when the ref got interfered with, and then Shinsuke pretended to get hit in the crotch.
He got hit between the wickets.
Yeah, and then he just totally played along with it. Justin, if you have a chance to watch that match,
Eddie Guerrero style
you definitely
stuff.
should. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, it sounds like an Eddie Guerrero thing, kind of faking the injury.
He slammed the ring,
and then he took advantage.
Ugh!
And then he took advantage.
And then he did it again. The Pinchasa once more.
And how did he get the pinfall? Just after hitting his finisher, or roll
again,
up,
it was
or what?
the distraction of the referee was like, "Oh, are you okay? Did AJ do it?" And then as AJ and the ref were talking about he was about to get disqualified, Shinsuke obviously was faking it, so he just got back and just hit him again, and then it eventually led to the finisher.
Nice.
So it was a good finish.
Yeah, I mean, these guys seem to be getting better and better. It takes time for people to melt and meld and get a sort of connection. You can't just throw two people out there that haven't wrestled in a few years and just expect greatness. It takes a while. So I think potentially we'll see the best match that these two have put on against one another this upcoming month in June when we get Money in the Bank. But Joe, we're going to take a little break, or we're just going to roll through it?
No, we only have 10 minutes
left.
left.
Let's just roll through this. So anything else from SmackDown or Raw, or any previews for tonight? Anything we could really expect?
Rusev might turn face, which is what needs to happen.
Yeah, he needs to turn face, but I'm hoping they keep him and Aiden English together. I think they're pairing it's just so well. I think it'd be so dumb they'd be ruining something like that.
Looks like they were turning on the idea that they wanted to split the three of them. It looks like they're going to make them a unit. Lana, English, and Rusev.
I like that idea.
Also,
that'd be cool.
Me and Joe, by the way, Tuesday night as well. It's Billie Kay taking on Lana. Money in the Bank qualifying. We have $5 on it. Joe actually thinks that Billie Kay is going to win and not Lana. So. I'm guaranteed $5.
Me and Joe also have another bet, and we'll go over this quick. Joe has the Golden Knights winning the Stanley Cup. I have whoever
wins the other series.
Yes.
Literally anyone else, I believe.
Nice. But since we only got about 10 minutes left.
Yeah, let's talk some
Circle 90.3 WHPC, the voice of Nassau Community College. Justin, you want to get into your EC3?
EC3. Oh no, ECW.
I know. I did it on purpose.
Well, quickly. Was there anything on 205 Live else that's going on that you want to touch upon?
Anything with that in NXT? Nothing really noticeable. I mean, look, I'm going to be honest with 205 Live. You can kind of just read up on it. I mean, there are sometimes you'll see there are some really good matches that you should definitely check out. And then with NXT also, I never watch NXT live. The only thing I watch live is TakeOver, and I read up on it.
All right. So me and Joe did a thing. We watched a WWE event from almost 15 years ago. It's ECW One Night Stand from 2005, and you can check it out on the WWE Network. It's under ECW, and it's under their pay-per-view section. Just go to 2005, and it's right there. So this was a great event. Took place at the Hammerstein Ballroom out here in New York City.
One of the greatest crowds. That was an incredible crowd.
Yeah, you know,
I really wish I could have been in a crowd like that.
I would love for that. You know, it's similar to the NXT type of feeling, but a lot, raunchier.
A lot raunchier.
Chanting things that you cannot repeat on here about women and anything.
Yeah, and they would, the wrestlers would walk around and say, who's got a weapon? And you would just hand them, like, a pan or something, or
some crazy
stuff, beer, man. And, like, just whatever.
So the pay-per-view opened up with Joey Styles coming out, who's the play-by-play guy for ECW, and he's actually a Hofstra alumni, so I know, Joe, you're heading over to Hofstra, so maybe you could get an interview with Joey Styles.
Oh, I got to work on that.
That'd be great.
That'd be amazing.
He comes out, and his partner for the pay-per-view is Mick Foley. Usually Joey Styles does pay-per-views by himself, but he had Mick Foley call it with him. The opening match, Lance Storm.
Hold on, we can't talk about Joey Styles without doing something real quick.
Yes,
we have to
we had to do that. That's a classic call that Joey Styles does.
Oh my God!
Anyway. Lance Storm with Dawn Marie defeated Lionheart Chris Jericho. So all the participants in this pay-per-view are ex-ECW performers. So you'll see guys that you probably know of from back in the day, whether it's Eddie Guerrero or Chris Jericho. They once got their start in ECW. So Lance Storm defeated Chris Jericho, and this was a solid wrestling match.
It was definitely a good match to watch.
It was a good opener. The crowd was into it. Justin Credible made an appearance and hit Chris Jericho with a Singapore cane, and Lance Storm got the victory. And there was a brutal shot to the head.
Yes, I saw that and I heard it, and then I watched it again because I thought what I heard was wrong.
It was pretty wicked, man, and there's a reason as to why they don't do shots to the head anymore. The second match, this was a classic ECW.
I'll let you say this one.
This is an insane ECW rivalry from back in the day. It's super crazy, and he took on Little Guido and Tajiri. And Tajiri, you guys probably know, recently was in WWE, and he was in the cruiserweight tournament, rather. This is a three-way dance. So basically, once one person gets pinned or submitted, they go to the back, and then the other two finish out. This was a high spot fest, super crazy, does some of the most beautiful moonsaults. He actually jumped up into the balcony, and he did a moonsault off of the balcony onto like 5 or 6 people. Super crazy, really stole the show, and he gets the victory over Little Guido and Tajiri.
That was a great match to watch. I didn't like it as much. This wasn't my bathroom break match, even though you don't have to take bathroom breaks because it's on demand. But if this was a really good match, you said it was the second best match of the night.
I think this is the second best match of the night.
I'm gonna disagree because I liked a match coming up a lot, mostly because I'm a little biased here, but we'll go into it. So the next match was Rey Mysterio and Psychosis.
Psychosis is great, man. He's got a unique look. Unfortunately, they demasked him in WWE, so he took off his mask, and they had some funny chants of put your mask on because he's not a very attractive looking person. So Mysterio gets, and
it was Rey Mysterio Jr. too.
Yes, because that's what he went by in ECW, and he went by that in WCW. And I think Vince McMahon doesn't like the term junior, so he takes it away from people because Vince McMahon himself is a junior. So Mysterio gets the victory, and this was a great contest. And the great thing about ECW is it's such a wide variety of stuff. You have the Lance Storm and Jericho match, which is a classic, Ricky Steamboat, Ric Flair type of wrestling match. You have this absurd three-way between all these conflicting, Japanese style, Mexican style, and then the shooter style.
They put that on television?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Three ways?
Three ways, they do.
Wow.
It was insane. It was fluid
it's
going
ECW,
everywhere.
You're allowed to do whatever.
Yeah.
And then Rey Mysterio and Psychosis, obviously, is the lucha-style match. And, they've had better matches before, but this, was a solid match for an older Psychosis.
This is my favorite match.
This was your favorite match.
This is my second favorite match. I'm sorry.
Okay.
My second favorite match. Sabu with Bill Alfonso and Rob Van Dam, who had a torn ACL.
But he still appeared.
And he still hit that, what's it called?
The Van Daminator?
No.
Van Terminator?
No, the one with the guy in the corner with the chair.
Yeah, the Van Terminator.
Oh, it's the Van Terminator?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So with a torn ACL, hit a Van Terminator against Rhino.
Who's a beast.
Who's a beast. This is Rhino. Why can't Rhino do these kind of things still?
You know, he's old. He's a lot
And his
bigger.
partner has kids.
His partner does have kids.
He needs a job.
You know, Sabu and Rob Van Dam, those are two of the biggest names.
Sabu is nuts.
The sad thing is Van Dam didn't get to wrestle in this pay-per-view because he was actually the guy that kind of spearheaded this idea of having this ECW pay-per-view. So it's a shame he didn't get to perform at it.
He did the next year, though, I believe.
He did, and he actually beat John Cena for the world title at the next year's ECW One Night Stand.
They roasted John Cena.
That was another great event. Up next is Chris Benoit defeated Eddie Guerrero by submission in 10 minutes. You know, these two have had better matches before in WCW. Eddie Guerrero is kind of on his last legs. He actually passes away only a handful of months after this, so you could see his decline in health, but he's still an amazing performer, man. And Benoit is arguably the greatest in-ring performer in the history of the business. So, you know, it's a good match, but there's better matches between them. The next match, I think, is hands down the best match. It's Mike Awesome versus Masato Tanaka. If you want to see steel chair shots to the head, this is the match to watch. They are just wailing as hard as they can and hitting them in the head.
And this had that suicide dive where Mike Awesome's finisher, he would throw you or the Awesome Bomb.
The Awesome Bomb.
But this one, he threw him out of the ring. And also, how tall was Awesome, would you say?
Mike Awesome's at least like a 6'5".
Right,
He's,
so he's at least 6'5", picking up Tanaka, throwing him out of the ring, threw a chair into the ground, which barely had padding because ECW didn't use padding, and the padding they put was like barely anything. And then hit a suicide dive, but it wasn't even a dive; it was like a spear into the ground while Tanaka's just laying there, just boom.
It was insanity.
I was like, how did this guy not break his neck? And then gets the pin, and he just put his hand on the guy.
Is that the main event?
No,
it's one of the matches I definitely recommend any wrestling fan to watch.
It was only 9 minutes.
It's in my top 15 favorite matches
like 9
ever.
or 10 minutes. It was an insane 9-10 minutes of just destruction and death.
And the main event is the Dudley Boys, and they defeated Tommy Dreamer and the Sandman. This is the classic ECW style match, a bloodbath. You know, everybody using weapons, cheese graters. You had the steel chairs. You had the Singapore canes.
There was a table that was so on fire that my phone lit my face up. And I was like, I paused the screen. I was like, this could not be this hot. They just poured an entire can of lighter fluid on a table. And then they were like, all right, light it on fire. Let's put Dreamer right through it. There we go.
Yeah, it's, you know,
like it was nothing. I was like, what?
And kind of the thread throughout the show is that the WWF, or WWE rather, superstars are invading the show. So you have, you know, Eric Bischoff and the Coachman and JBL and all these guys kind of bad-mouthing the performers. And then the end of the show ends with them coming in the ring, and it's a big brawl between the ECW stars and the WWE stars. And the weird thing is, JBL, who's a bully, literally beats the living hell out of the Blue Meanie, for real.
From the BWO.
He literally punches him in the face as hard as he can a bunch of times.
I like JBL.
I like him too, but he's not a nice guy from all accounts.
No.
And he, you know, legitimately beat this man up, which you're not supposed to do in wrestling. You're supposed to, you know,
he was actually
pretend.
You're right. He was bleeding like profusely.
I believe it.
But it's ECW, so everyone just thought it was normal.
Yeah, and for next week's show, we're gonna watch
Royal Rumble 2000.
Royal Rumble 2000, right from Madison Square Garden. It's a great show, so we got all of that coming up next week, and a whole lot more. But make sure to stay tuned. What's coming up next?
Up next is the home stretch.
But real quick before we go,
go ahead.
Before we go, Jason Jordan is expected to return. It was tweeted out today. Usually when that happens, it means it's going to happen tonight. I think he's either going to accept the IC title or pair it back with American Alpha.
I'd like to see that, American Alpha.
There we
go.
Let's
Goodbye.
Bye.
See you next week, guys.